Fun.
Look at that. No intro or anything. We are just
We're
up and
just into it,
live.
man. We're just into it.
We're just into it.
I don't even know if that posted anywhere. Actually, I didn't do any tweets or anything. Well, I did a tweet earlier today.
Did you?
Yeah. See, I think I
Uh,
might have posted to PHP Architect. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It posted twice for some reason. No idea why.
because it's that good.
All right. Cool, man.
I'll just place it over to PHP Ugly just so it's there.
Good idea.
All right.
Good idea.
Well, this is good. This is something different.
I'm enjoying it. I'm excited. I've been wanting
Not
to
a
do this for a
pirate.
long time.
Yeah. So set the stage as people come in. If anybody comes in to hang out with us, this I have a basic Laravel install, and I have a bunch of really crappy code to process some data that is in uh, a Google Sheet. Okay, where it's because I'm not talking to you. Um,
He wasn't talking to you either. Jesus.
these stupid devices. Um, all right, so I've messed with Filament very little on PHP Tech TV.
Right?
So you did the entire setup, you got it up and running. I'm very good at getting in and hacking after things are built. So I was hoping that you would help me on this, set up Filament from scratch to do little things like add and allow users to access the site, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have like 3 users that access the site, and I could do it all in the database. But I figured if we could start there, just to help teach me a little bit about Filament and getting things set up, I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it'll be super simple too with that. Wait till you see how easy it is. But it'll still be in the database. You realize that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So
Right.
my understanding of Filament is it's basically CRUD forms to update the database for you in the
Most
broadest sense. In the broadest sense.
yeah, the most yeah, exactly. That pretty much nails it.
All right. So I don't I don't know what I need to do. Do I need to install Filament, or is it part of Laravel already?
Yeah, it's gonna be a composer require. No, it's not part of the default Laravel. It's gonna be a composer require. Shit, is it filament? Filament? I think it's filament. Filament. I would have to double check.
Oh,
I'm sure you're
no,
doing that.
I'm just typing it and seeing if it works. And of course it doesn't. Uh, Filament requires Filament support.
Filament Laravel. I get
And then
started.
filament support requires Livewire.
That'll all get installed.
Right, but I'm trying to figure out why it's failing.
Why is it
And
saying 3.0 stable?
what do I have in here for Livewire? I have Livewire 2.12 for some reason.
Ah, so yeah, roll that out.
Roll it out or just upgrade it?
Oh, you can upgrade it. I mean, Filament's going to install it anyways. But
Well,
it,
obviously not. It's complaining about it. Livewire. Oh, you're saying if I remove it, Filament will install it.
right. See, that didn't bring you to 3. You have to up. You have to do a major version upgrade.
Why did that not update my token earlier today? Uh,
Oh, I hate when that happens.
it didn't save it. I wonder if that's. Let me let me create a new one, and then I'll manually put it where it needs to be.
All right.
Oops. Let's go. Use that. Use a security key. Hit the security key button. We'll do that. You know why? Because I did that on my MacBook, not on here. I believe is what happened. But either way, I will. Again. Okay. Didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, but we're going to remove it. No, we're not.
Yeah, you removed it. You have an issue with one of your jobs there. That script for
Oh, it's a permission issue. Gotta love that. Why is that as root? Hopefully not everything is. Sudo chown me, whoops, and their vendor directory. You're gonna quickly learn that I'm a terrible coder and I just write a bunch of stuff.
That's the thing. Like, I want to live code so much, but then that's where I start to get that imposter syndrome. Like I don't think I have it until it's like a put up or shut up situation, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm fake. You discovered me.
All right. Now let me try this again. We've already removed that.
So do your filament.
I'm just gonna do that again. Okay, so it's the composer cleanup that's failing. That makes sense. All right, so now we're going to install. Maybe. Nope. Not sudo. Composer install.
Require, right? Not install.
Oh yeah, require. Told you, terrible. terrible. Filament.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Now it's happy.
Wonder why it installed Livewire 2.
Did it just install Livewire 2 again?
No, on my initial install, because this application is not that old.
Gotcha.
So, all right, that is installed.
Okay, so now you have to run there's a filament command you have to run, or an artisan command called filament :install space -- panels.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why that happened? Because I got to do 8.1. All right, all done. Would you like to show some love by starring the Filament repo on GitHub? I would love to, but sure, why not?
Any way for us to get rid of our names in this theme? Nope. This is right over your command line there.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Let's see, how can I make that better?
Oh, I got my mouse scroll to work. There's a you have to configure that in PHP Storm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I kept trying. I'm like, I know this is what John said he did. Control scroll. Damn it.
All right. Well, we're not going to be down in the terminal that often, so I'll leave it there. And if it becomes an issue, we can address that.
So the biggest thing about Filament, assuming it's still the same way, is you have to Actually, I think if you're in dev, it doesn't matter. But eventually, you'll have to define what accounts have access to the Filament interface.
Okay,
Do you have a users table?
I do, and I have a user in there.
Okay, so that really should be it. I think you should be able to log into Filament. By default, it's going to be /admin.
Okay, whoops. Let me bring a browser window over. How about that? Possibly go wrong with me doing that. Boop. All right. So, host admin.
/admin, yeah.
What?
So
Hey,
obviously,
remember?
there's a lot of customization you can do there, but there you go. All right, you're all done. Good job. Talk
All
to you
right.
tomorrow.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us.
So I learned something that I wasn't aware of, that Filament now, when you create a resource is basically the class to interact with a model.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually pass it a dash I think it's generate is what it's called, dash generate, and it will figure out your table structure and actually create all the CRUD stuff for you.
Huh.
Let me double check that and make sure I'm not BSing you here.
Well, I'm not actually planning on creating too much currently. Right now, everything is done in real time. I'm not storing anything. It's gets the data real time from the spreadsheet, does some processing, and outputs some usually reports.
Mhm.
I did have it create quote unquote badges initially. I mean, look how crazy this is. Goes and gets it, gives me QR codes for everybody, and then I got this whole fancy reports page. Look how fancy this is. I got 3 reports, and actually I got 2 reports because I was working on another one. But like, it's just geeky.
It's awesome.
All right.
All right.
So let's go back to Filament. What I'm going to work on after this is refactoring some of that code just for funsies, because
Mhm.
like I said, it was almost like a proof of concept type of thing. Like, can I make this work? And then of course I made it work enough so that I could get my wife what she needed for the running club. And
Uh-huh.
then like, oh, maybe I can do better.
Of course, I can make it cooler.
Yep. Were you gonna show me how to do more with Filament here?
I mean, if you want, I was just going to say, you have a users table. Let's go ahead and let's at least give you a user table here. So type in PHP artisan or whatever your PHP 8.1 artisan.
Yeah.
Make filament dash resource, and do a space. It'll be the user table, so just call it user with the uppercase U as the convention space, and then just do dash generate, and that should. So the cool thing about this is if you have tables with like relations and stuff like that, this generate will figure all that stuff out and create your like initial CRUD interface for that. So if you hit
So
that,
I did do the whole Teams thing, so this should generate that piece as well.
as long as you have that, if you have that relationship defined in your model, yes.
Well, I did it through the artisans when I first set it up, and it stepped me through that. So I'm assuming it took care of that for me. Oh, I guess I should. Unable to read table schema for app models user. Oh, let me do
Your .env
Docker.
file, maybe.
No, Docker compose up. And bring the Docker containers up. How about that?
Well, that'd be helpful. How's your web server running?
Very, 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 very well. Thanks for asking. Oh, look, it already exists.
Mm-mm. No, that's it probably created the file but didn't. So go ahead and
Okay.
open that user resource and just see what's in there.
The Filament user resource.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's nothing in there. I would just nuke it and run it again.
All right, so
See the
here.
magic. Apps.
No, I'm all messed up because I'm in this presentation view. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That. And that. Delete. Okay.
All right, so just run that again.
This users already exists.
So delete the whole resource. Just delete the whole resource. Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Doo-da, doo-da. All right. Still. Oh, because I'm not doing it within the container. That's going to be why.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely something you need to do.
So let's try that again. Delete. Docker exec, and I forget what this one's called.
Dash IT.
Yeah. And then I will go PHP artisan. Yeah. PHP.
It doesn't have autocomplete in Docker.
I gotta fix that because that will drive me crazy. There we go. That looks better.
All right, so now refresh that, and you should have a users. Here you go. So click on that, and you have all your basic CRUD stuff set up.
Okay, so it does have a current team ID, but nothing more than that.
So in order to see the relationship in Filament, well, first thing, let's pop over to your user model. Let me just make sure that's defined, because what you told me, unless that's a new feature in the make model, so scroll down. I think we'll have to define it. Keep scrolling. Yeah, you don't have that relationship defined in here.
Okay. I don't really need it currently. I just know that my code is relying on the current team, and then I think something within the team to get some data I need.
So you might as well go ahead and do the same thing for team then, right? If that's something another table you often have to mess around with. Yeah, so there you go.
Well, this is just stupid. Stupid easy, I mean. Yeah, that's what I needed right there. And while I'm here, I'm going to come over and...
So, and we can do things like change that that field type to a URL. So that will just be, that can just become a clickable link as well.
Yeah. What I want to do here is doing something on my other screen on purpose.
Yeah, that's fine. No problemo.
Laravel. Do that. So that over here. Alrighty. We had somebody watching. Wonder if they're in Discord. If you want to hang out with us in Discord, you can go to discord.phpugly.com or discord.phparch.com and hang out with us.
I'll be back. The dog wants out.
All right, I'm going to do this. Again, I just want to verify this.
Yeah, Dan and his guys over at Filament just did a stellar job with this project. Absolutely amazing.
But why isn't that saving? Save changes. That's saved. But it's not saving.
It's not saving?
Nope. I hit save. It says saved, but it's not saving.
Well, that's
riddle me this, riddle me that, Batman.
That's odd. Why is it not saving?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Hey, look. Maybe we have some errors here, so let's try again. Boop. Save. Nope. No errors. I was hoping there were errors. But there are not.
Oh, I know why it's not saving. Go to your Teams model and fillable. Yeah, that just have protected as a blink thing. That gets me every time.
There we go.
There we go.
I'd say that, but that's not. What in the world?
What's wrong?
So I'm loading it on another window because I realized I was sharing information I should have been. And it doesn't seem to be pulling from here. Oh, I know why. Hang on. I tried to be smart, and
Don't do that.
That's always a downfall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what I did here was, hey, let's put it in the session. So I'm gonna say false, not or, and. So now if I do this, the caller does not have permission. What am I doing wrong? How would this lead to an error if I just don't want to run this? Oh, never mind. I'm getting further.
Right. I was saying it would drop down into the else statement.
Yeah, I don't have permission to this sheet. So I guess I got this API key, which I now need to change.
Yes. And I can show you how to put that in your .ev file.
No, I know.
Okay.
I know it's easy. Again, proof of concept. I wrote it really quick. So now I need to share this with here. need to notify. Luckily, that API key has nothing, no real access to anything, but I need to go remove that.
Always helpful.
All right, so first things first, let's go here, running club. I'm gonna put this into a key. And then I should just be able to go env, right?
Mm-hmm. It should be auto-completing. It's weird it didn't auto-complete for you.
Really?
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. So now I got to go fix that. Manage your Google account. Man, how do I always forget that? I don't do this enough, so I don't even know where it's at.
I'm terrible with the Google API keys. Is that where you have to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's developer google.com and you have to find the app and blah 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 blah.
I don't even think that's it. Manage Google API keys. Developers. Let me see if it's in here. Nope. Now I feel bad. I'm not sharing my screen, but come on now.
So I'm trying to figure out a way to take my name off the thing here. If I don't put a name in, nope, you have to put a name in. How about I put a period? Can I put a period in? That's not helpful. Restream. Damn it.
What happened?
I just put period in and I just ended up with a big orange circle with a period in the middle. Oh, I got A Woods in chat talking to us. I'm put chat here. Oh, A Woods. You know what? I think I have the PHP Architect chat coming in. So
that's not what I want. Not now. Go away.
Yeah, commit the API key, right? A Woods. It'll end up in the chat GPT search result at some point.
I don't think this is what I want to be either. Hey, why don't I add another account?
Do, 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 do. Unplug.
Not now.
While you're doing that, I'm going to unplug my Black Magic. See if that was an issue.
Nope, that's not it. Oh my goodness, where in the world is this thing?
Can you find Google API keys for you? Do that.
Google Sheets API.
Let's see if my Black Magic updated. Boop. Gonna work now? Hey, there we go. It is such a nicer camera, though. That's my
Yeah.
dilemma. Oh, that is such a nicer camera. Yeah, I don't know. I have to stick with it. Hey, what's your?
Found it.
You're just a night owl, huh, A Woods? And you just submit your title suggestions, A Wood.
All right, I found it. Now I can revoke it.
At some point, services like Restream will have AI that will be able to detect that and just automatically blur it.
All right. Copy that. Put that over here. All right. Don't really want it in that application, but that's neither here nor there. I'll fix that later. So, with that being said, why can't I access that now?
Because I don't think that EMV is working for you.
That sounds like a whole nother issue. Closed. Yeah. So it's still the permission issue. What I'm going to do real quick is env API.
Well, you can, yeah. I mean, you can actually do it in your. Oh, you're running on your terminal in another window.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
I'm
can
getting
just do it artisan as well.
I'm getting my API key.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah. So that's working just fine. Now it's a matter of why does it think I don't have permission? So I'm going to go here. I have permission. I own this thing.
It would disagree with you.
But it can't because it just worked with the other key until I just got rid of it.
I am a night owl. I should be sleeping right now.
Oh. I wonder if I had to do that. Nope. Oh, wait. I'm getting permission denied. I mean, for what I'm doing, I might just open this up, but I need it to work in the long run, so that would be dumb. That would be dumb. So it's restricted. I'm the owner. I am in my credentials. I'm creating a client with my API key, which I just confirmed.
Oh, I know what's going on with Discord. I forgot about that. I need to actually change in the chat client. It's so dorky.
I just want to verify that that's saved correctly. One ZZ, yeah. So I've got the right sheet ID. How in the world did I get this working prior to this? That's the question I have to ask. All right.
So that client, that's some package or something you're using?
Yeah. I should be able to read Google Sheets with this key. This key is in my account. My previous key is active until, so I guess it keeps the previous key active. I wonder if there's a way to remove that. For funsies, I'm going to try and do that. Nope. Let me compare this. On the other one, I opened up access to anyone with the link.
I think I know how it's working.
Now I know why it was working. All right. All right. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. So really, there's nothing else I need to do with Filament at this point.
Not really. I mean, not unless you start doing some, if you want to start tricking it out, but it doesn't sound like you're going down that path right now.
Nah.
So yeah, I mean that's really it. It's so stupid simple. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what I wanted to start kind of going down the road of refactoring would be throwing some tests in, possibly, ideally I would do this test driven, refactor some of this out where everything is just in all my controllers, which obviously not a good idea. Let me go here. The restream site just is taking forever to load on my thing. I'm going to turn my screen off just for a second here. Well, I come over to my other controllers. Oops. Developer key. Figured I would go ahead and just get rid of that key too. So do you think I'm missing a plugin?
For what? For the permissions?
No, I'm sorry. You said it should have auto-completed that, the ENV.
Oh yeah, maybe you are. I think there is a plugin for ENV files. Oh, maybe that's how mine shit does it. Yeah. Double check. Plugins. Yeah, there's a .env support. completion. Yep, that's what it is. .env file support does environmental variable completion based on .env file. Good call. See, that's like one of those things. Like now, I just assume it's something PHP Storm does. Like I don't realize there's another plugin I installed that did that.
All right, you gonna restart, or do I need to start you back up? There you go.
All these AI plugins now.
All right, that's indexing. Oh, it took me out of presentation mode. Hold, please. I will fix that. Or not. Like I said, or not. Sometimes it can be so annoying. Get out of there. No. There we go. Appearance, not in full screen. So why are you doing that? Weird. All right. Let's see if that changes that now. Oh, oh there it is. Except it still shows you.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yes, I saw that.
Obviously, it doesn't matter. I had to open up the sheet anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll figure that part out later. All right.
Good to know.
Yeah. All righty. So you don't do a whole lot of testing, right?
No.
PHP artisan. So is there a way to make test files?
I think there is in Filament.
Well, not Filament. I'm just talking about in general.
I think Filament has a nice little testing framework for its stuff, though.
Make test. Should the test be named? So what I want to do is I want to have samples. I want to have something that will just get me my roster. Oops, roster resolver. Why not? What type of test would you like this? I don't know. A unit test? All right. Don't be dumb. Roster resolver. Run it. Whoa. It actually runs. Oh, I'll be damned. This is how I like to do my testing, is have auto run on, so it's just constantly running it every time I make changes. And I'm more of a do this type of thing. Why didn't? Oh, because that's in there. It returns a list of users. Public. To create a little, not that, create a setup. And here I'm going to have my system under test is a new master. I already screwed this up because this is supposed to be name type. This should be roster resolver test. Roster resolver test, right? So for my roster resolver, I wanted to return an array. You don't have to hang out with me if you don't want to, by the way.
Oh no, this is the part I'm very interested in.
All right. So I want to create this class, and this isn't going there. To me, this would go in app. It's not a model.
Is it going to be a repository or?
It's kind of a repository in the sense that it's getting my data, but it's I'm calling it a resolver just because it's just gonna go and get it and give me what I need, no matter where it's from. But repository would work as well.
Call it. Have that be the namespace resolver. Just have it be resolver.
So would you normally put that right under your app namespace?
Mm-hmm.
Directory, and then, well, that didn't work out too well. Result. Oop. That work? Any chance that works? Hey, look at that. Kind of worked. I always like to have
constructors for some reason.
Yeah, well, because I really like to construct. That's just the way I roll. It's okay.
You build and you build again.
Exactly. So I'm gonna say SUT. I get roster. It's gonna be my this. I want to assert is array. Why not? We'll start there.
Don't you want it to be this SUT?
Yes. Don't get smart with me. But yes, you're right. Oh man, it failed. That's crazy. Is this supposed to be app? Is the namespace app by default?
I think app is by default. I don't think you need to add app. Maybe you do actually. I don't. Well, I don't know.
Come on, of course you do. Don't be silly. There we go. Look at that. It failed because this doesn't exist. We will add that method.
Yeah, you do have to add app.
And we know we want to get back an array, and we're going to return an array. Look at that. Test complete. We're done. Go home. Call it a day. All right. So we know we're going to get that back. We know we're going to have to give it a client. So private read only. This is I know it's a Google client. I love PHP 8.1 property permission. Is that what this is called?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get to use it enough. All right. So teach me about Laravel service providers.
What do you want to know?
How do I create a service provider to say, hey, when I want a roster resolver, create it with the
service, right? That's what you're saying,
right? There should be a service provider, somewhere. Services, config services.
So, yeah.
Nope, that's not what I want. Service providers.
Well, no, you'll create your own. There's none there now.
Well, there's a bunch here, but you're right. I need my own.
Right.
But how do I register my service provider?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So just
look at this, providers.
Right. It's in your app.php. Is that where you're at? Oh.
No, I have, there's already these service providers. So I need to, is there an artisan command for it?
Where are you at? App providers.
I'm
Huh.
I'm all over the place. I just roam. Artisan, how do I make a service provider?
That's a good question. Yeah, you're
Right
right.
there. Right there. Make provider. Artisan, make provider. And I'm going to want this to be my
Look at that little interface they have now. So pretty.
yeah, this is going to be my resolver service provider. And look at this. There we go. That's what I wanted.
So that's where you would like register your API key in there. I mean,
Yep.
ideally, it would be in a config file first, but
I'm not worried about that. I want
yeah.
to. So now, how do I set these up, or should I just look at another one for an example?
I don't know if there are examples. Although you surprised me, I didn't know there was an artisan command. So what the hell do I know, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
I do it all by hand.
No, that's not what I want. There should be a register. What the hell?
Right. So this is where in register. Yeah. Why are there no registers by default?
Guess not.
This. That's crazy. Let me look through this one here. Oh, there you go. Look at app service provider. That has a register.
Yeah, but if there's nothing in there.
Huh.
So
basically all you're doing here is this. It's just $ this arrow app bind.
that's what I was looking for. So when I want a resolver, so this was my roster resolver. I want to bind that to a function, a static function. And can I pass the, actually, no, I need this app in there.
Right, application app is what it is.
But, oh, so I can go application.
Mm-hmm.
Helps if I know how to spell.
And you're looking for the contract. The contract. There should be a contract. There we go. Foundation contract. Yeah.
This one.
There you go.
So now what I want to do is I want to return a
new instance. New.
But here I know I need a client. So I'm going to say app get, and then I want a client. Class. And then in theory, I should say this app find client class function. Since I'm passing it in, I should be able to make it static now, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and for this, I want to come over here. I always work with two windows side by side. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do, so deal with it. So I'm going to return a new client with my developer key, my developer key. I'll leave this here for a time being. So am I thinking of this right? I'm binding this. When I say, hey, give me a client, it's going to create a new client with my developer key that's in the environment. And then when I say I want this roster resolver, it's going to give me a new one that's going to pass in the client that I get from up here.
Yep, that should do it. Now you still have to register this to the app. So open up config app.php.
I'm going to bet you I don't have to.
Okay. It wouldn't surprise me if it has auto discovery now. That would be awesome.
I wouldn't say auto discovery, but I'm sorry. You wanted me to go to config
app.php. And
It's
there's
because I used Artisan to create it. I'm assuming it would have added it.
Oh, interesting. App provider, no, does not look like it. Oh, what's that to array? I don't remember that being a thing.
Default service providers merge. That is interesting, though, that Artisan didn't find that in here.
Well, it might have some sort of auto discovery now that I'm just not up to speed on. That whole to array is throwing me off. I don't remember that. What version of Laravel are you running?
The latest and greatest 17.2.9.
Well, that was yesterday. It's 17.11212 today.
I don't know. Composer lock Laravel.
Laravel 10, right? That's probably what you're running.
Probably.
If you installed it in the last couple of weeks, months.
I'm sure there's
look for framework.
I'm sure there's a Artisan command to tell me that.
Yeah, 10.17. Cool.
All right. I added that.
All right.
Let's go back to my tests. Where'd my test go? Roster test. Roster resolver test. Okay, so now here I don't want to get this anymore. Here I want to use, is there a global app facade? Yep, get roster resolver class. Oh man, look at that. A facade root has not been set. So that didn't work.
Well, why didn't it work?
I don't know.
Maybe you don't have to do app get here anymore, right? Because you have it as a service.
But how do I get? I need to resolve it. How do I resolve it out of the container? That's the question.
Let me see how I did mine. So TPS service provider. What did I do for mine?
A facade root has not been set. Okay, well, while you're looking at that, I am going to back here, and I'll say Laravel test resolve classes out of container. Binding, resolving. Oh, maybe I can do this app. Maybe that's where I'm screwed up. Nope, that doesn't work.
No, I'll be right back. You grab a dog.
Oh, you know what? I bet there's a Laravel test case. Test case. Yep. Don't worry, Eric. I got it. Nope. I don't got it. This app. Oh. Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh.
All right. So, app does not exist in test. I tried using test case for Laravel. Oh, resolve. Let me try that.
So how's this TPS service interface? Oh, I created an interface for mine. So what's that do? So TPS service.
Hey, that worked.
What did you do?
I used resolve. I resolved my resolver.
I don't think I do that, but okay. If it works, it works.
Well, you don't have to in an app, but in test, it appears there's not an application set up yet. Story, and I'm sticking to it. That's not where I want to be. I want to go back to my roster resolver. Roster resolver. And actually go into my craziness that I do here. I'm going to say, hey, I want this, 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 this. We're going to paste that here. A little refactoring. I don't know my URL at this point. See, this is where it should be. There should be a little more refactoring. I should be getting in the stuff. Oops. You don't need to know anything about team because that's just crazy. I don't necessarily like that this is hard-coded, but I will leave this here. The roster tab range. That all needs to be cleaned up. I'm putting that in the request. And ultimately, I want to return students. So for funsies again right now, I'm going to go and come back into here. Grab that. In the Google Sheet, maybe. All right. Run. Oh, you didn't know that I changed that, so that makes sense. Why are you saying no? Oh, this doesn't read the env anymore, does it?
Well, it should, because
Tests.
it's reading it in the. You're calling this the service provider.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, that's where you're pulling in your env from.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't read that in.
Well, you're actually still pulling in your roster resolver there. Oh, that's right. That's what you call it, resolver, not provider.
Do Laravel tests read the .env. Use .env.testing. Can I get something for Laravel 10, not 5? Well, let me try that. Let me just try copying this to env to env.testing.
Be right back. Oh, where's the dog? There you dog.
Nope, that did not seem to do the trick. Okay. A streamer I am not, it turns out, because I spend a lot of my time trying to figure out how to do things, and I am not a Laravel developer by trade. And my day job, we do a lot of hacky things in our tests, including spinning up the full application to make it work. It's Laravel. Creating tests. PHP unit. See, they use PHP unit framework test case. If I go into there, it uses. See, that should be creating the application. Oh, what if I do that? Tell this create application. This app. Well. Eric, I figured it out. All right. So it turns out that if you want the app, I'll wait for Eric to get back. I was trying to explain for the millions of viewers that we have. Oh, wait, this thing says 0. That's all right. doing this for me. This is causing me to step out of my comfort zone, try some new things. All right. Ideally, I'm going to be creating this with a mock service, so I won't actually be using this long term, but I can at least prove that it's working for realsies before I mock it. Eric, right. So I want to assert same, and I'm going to have an expected array, and then my first thing. In my expected array, I'm going to have these. But I don't know what these actually are yet. Alrighty. Am I really not getting this? Oh. Can't spell. Yeah.
Come on. Get it all working?
I did. Why is the...
You did.
I did.
So
I'll explain.
Okay.
I'll explain all that here in a minute. So I should be getting the... Oh, it's not sub-zero anymore. I just want the first element. So I want to go next. Yeah, or current, actually. Not next. There we go. So what I found out, current. So with Laravel, you want to extend test case, in which case it has a create application. And from there, that will load up your env, and then you get access to your the container. So I'm able to get this. Now, ideally, once I get this working, I am going to I will create this with a mock client because I don't want to hit the Google endpoint all the time, right? Which means I'm going to have to refactor this out as well because that's just going to be a no-go. But that's down the road. For right now, what I want to do is take this UID there. So it's Helen and a Discord is probably somebody telling me I'm doing something super stupid.
Let's see. Nope.
Still going. We're still going. We're hanging out. I've been proving how bad of a developer I am. Actually, I'm learning Laravel as we are going. I've tinkered with it in the past, but learning a lot as I go. Really? How are we still sort of? Well, that's why. My students sub. Oh, because I'm going off of teacher first. That's why. Interesting. So it's just a. I know I was doing that for a reason, but ultimately I don't need to do that. I can figure this more stuff out later. But now I just want the list, and then I can map it to stuff I need in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let me just do that. Not quite sure how I screwed that up so bad, but I did. Oh, I know how I did. Bingo, bango, bongo. All right. So the next thing I actually need to do is refactor the sheets out of here. So for something like that, again, could have a sheet resolver where I get shit. I would get this, which would get that. I still pass that in. Actually, that'd be almost like a factory, right? It's not really a factory. Ultimately, I'm going to pass my sheet URL into here. Yeah, I think that's what I need. On a sheet data resolver. So to me, this is going to take in this URL and this range, and it will give me back the data out of that tab, out of that sheet. That makes sense, or am I just talking crazy now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking crazy.
Yeah.
That's not helping me. The big thing is all right, so this still needs to take in private read-only. This is Google client.
This is where you're
I
going to
call it-
new up your sheet.
Yeah, so this will be my make, and this I want to take my sheet URL and the tab range. I want to return an array. And this will do exactly this. I want to return Roster. It's not already an array. This is a value range. How do I get values? There we go. That's what I want to do. Tab range. And why are you not liking this? Yeah, so
tab range is something you're passing to it.
Tab range, yeah. So I'm passing in the sheet URL and the tab range. So now we need to go back to our service provider. I'm going to say, when you ask for sheet data resolver, you will go static function. All right, this is going to drive me crazy. I want this to be fn at that. Right. Yeah. Don't worry. Buttery. Yeah. Buttery. See, this is where PHP-CS comes in and Code Beautifier and all those other things where it'll work itself out. He's trying to give me imposter syndrome. He's trying to say, you really don't want to do this again. This was a big mistake. New sheet data resolver app. Oops. Git client. Battery for you. And why can't I? What am I doing here? Very happy.
Well, I mean, you could have kept it all in one line. It was the wrapping that was driving him crazy, which I understand.
I'm sorry, I'm not Harry Mack. I'm not a good rapper. So this now needs to kind of. Actually, it's probably fine, but.
Don't, Buttery.
I don't need supportiveness. I'm not in therapy. I mean, I need to be, but I'm not.
I'm not in therapy ever since I broke out.
All right. So. That's not where. Okay. So now we want to go. Git roster. I need this and. What's. Oh, no, not that. That's not what I need. Come back over here. So now we are going to use roster is going to equal sheet data resolver make for that. And then this is going to be so. So are you saying he just doesn't like the wrapping and he wants me to scroll left and right? Is that what you mean, Butter?
Yeah. I assume that's. I mean, that's how mine's set up.
I
I
hate that.
don't wrap.
Absolutely.
You hate that?
Yeah, I hate when that's like there's something off to the right of the screen that I can't see.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I can understand that.
All right. Roster resolver construct argument one sheet there is on PS type. Okay, so now I need to go back into my service provider because I screwed this up. It's no longer taking in that shoot. Oh yeah, it is. That's fine. Roster resolver construct sheet data must be of sheet data resolver client given. Well, that's why would you do that? Oh, because down here, roster resolver, you don't want this. You want this. Hey, we're passing again. Look at that. TDD semi for the win. Yeah, but nobody needs access to that right now. Maybe one day. All right. So now for my tests. When I don't really want to hit the don't really want to hit Google for realsies, right?
Ideally, you don't want to waste your API calls on tests that keep running.
So we will refactor this now equals new roster resolver. And this will be my sheet resolver. What does, I mean, I guess it's still just PHP unit under the hood. We don't use prophecy usually.
What? Prophecy?
I normally use prophecy. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I thought it was an event sourcing thing.
Prophecy was bundled with PHP unit for a long time. Then they split it out to a separate package, and you had to use it. You had to bring it in. Kind of a pain, but all right. So I'm going to mock it and then say sheet resolver. Expects make. Sorry, I always get so confused.
A very powerful and flexible PHP object mocking
With
framework.
args.
I can't say I've ever used Prophecy.
No. So sheet ID and see, this is where I change my mind. I say, you know what? I will make this public because then I can just do this. Roster resolver, tab range. Fix this and return.
Do return values.
But why and? Why and? That doesn't make any sense. Right? But why? That doesn't work. So
With args. Where did you have with args at?
what's that?
Where'd you use with args?
It's right here.
Oh.
Only array enclosures are allowed. Yeah, fine, fine, fine. See, I don't use PHP unit mock. I should. I use it when I have to. but that seemed to work. So now what we're going to do is bring this up to here. Let's say, happy buttery. It worked. See, now I don't need a real UID. So I have my UID. And some URL. And who's cringing now? Huh? Me. But I'm doing it anyway. And for expected, we expect to get back. I don't know why I capitalized that. That was a mistake. Sorry. I'm sorry. You return a string. How do you return a string? How do we return a string? Oh, this is supposed to return an array, and it's saying it didn't because I don't know why. Possibly return. Yeah, well. All right. PHP unit. Don't worry. I will learn as I go so that you can learn with me. See? Method, not expects. Where were you on that one? Nope, not that. Yeah. Oh, let's create stub. Is that really what I want? I always get stubs and mocks backwards. I guess that's kind of what I want. Create stub. Eric, I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to lose us a bunch of HPIG listeners doing this. So expects would be, I expect it to be called, okay. It will return, but I want it to pass some values to it. Will return. Oh, that's right. It's gotta go. This is now so that's my expect. That's not really what it's going to return. It gets transformed into that. This will actually go this. This. array of values, and then the UUID is actually, that's 0. First name is actually 2. Last name is 1. Weight is 3. That is 6. I know I can clean it up. I will, Buttery. Stop giving me a hard time. Look, it worked. Why do you let him hang out in here with us, Eric?
I'm not even seeing what he's talking about. Is that anything like a half hour? No, 10 minutes. Is Discord, is the restream behind? Is he saying stuff in Discord?
He hasn't said anything in Discord in a while.
Okay.
I'm just being silly. All right. Look, it worked. We refactored. We had tests, and we were able to refactor and say that it's working, I hope. It's no longer sheet data. This is expected. Actually, we can just do that. And now watch. Go. Bam. Bam. Of course you have full belief in me as a programmer. Look, I wrote tests. I figured Laravel stuff out on the fly tonight. And I was able to refactor code because I had tests. And I did TDD, and I can get rid of these. Eric,
Yeah.
my wife's going to be very mad because we've broken this to the point where I have to refactor everything for it to work.
But honey, it was for content.
All right, Buttery. What was the complaint on the wrapping? You like it to just scroll off to the right endlessly, or you like hard breakpoints where you refactor and it does it all for you? What? I don't have PHP CS set up. I don't believe. This was just a like crappy little thing I did. Should we go ahead and install that and get that going?
Hey, you don't see why not?
Because I now have a broken app and I got
Totally continue to humiliate you. Why not, right?
it's not there, so compose.
So you don't care what the test. You don't care what the code looks like. The tests are passing.
Oh, installing PHP. Is it PHPCS? PHPCS? Am I gonna have to go look that up?
You are going to have to look that up.
I guess so. Definitely need PHP Stan. I don't create new apps all the time. I should probably do that. That's it. It's actually spelled out. Because that makes sense. Not global. Just require it. Or not. That didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. What am I doing wrong? Could not find package require. Oh, because I have require in there twice. Where were we at on that one? Point out everything else I'm doing wrong.
That's behind the John symbol. I can't read it.
I am auto formatting. Our formatting is just different. See, if I have been hitting auto format. Right, let's go back in there. Did you just blame me? By default interpreter. Yeah.
I'm trying to get this PHP roundtable together. And I can't get anybody
Interpreter.
to decide to agree on a date to record. Ugh, this is brutal.
Let's go from Docker. Docker compose. From here. Do it on Laravel test. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm setting up my interpreter to use my local Docker instead of my system, which is probably smart. That seems to be working. And then I'm going to tell PHP-CS I want to use that now. I don't know if I might have to install PHP-CBF. Where is that installed now?
Install PHP-CS. Blah blah blah. That's code sniffer. That's not what we want.
PCS fixer. And so that is done via this. I probably should install the other one as dev as well, but I did not. Oop. Friends of PHP. Any friend of PHP is a friend of mine. All right. PHP CS Fixer. PHP CS Fixer path is empty for selected configuration. I don't know what that means. PHP CS Fixer path. Oh, that's not what we want. Interpreter. Bad interpreter. Okay. PHP CS Fixer path. Not there. There. I got way too many projects that I don't do anything with. Bacon. Friends of PHP. There we go. There we go. Validate. Cannot determine tool version. Cannot open. I don't want that. You're running via a Docker thing.
I was saying, aren't you trying to run it through Docker though? So it wouldn't be that same path, would it?
Try that.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Okay, okay. Tool config L. That's what I do. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So what's next? What do I need to do next? I now have this whole roster resolver thing. Will get me what I need when I need it. See, now I got to put an empty line there to get rid of the squiggly. The squigglies. I don't like the squiggly. Hey, there we go. Checks. Method name is not in. Okay. It will return a list of a roster. Knocking out squigglies quickly. Oh, I no longer need this, and I no longer need that. But what I do need, how do I get back to my tool? There we go. All right. Tests are still passing. Good to go there. Should I actually go back to my badges and see if I can actually make this work?
Why not?
That will be crazy if it does. Public function, that constructor. I need my roster resolver. I go like this. I need to do that as a private read only. And should move this stuff, this caching piece, into there. That should not be here anymore. No longer need this, no longer need that. My roster is going to be this roster resolver, get roster, and it's going to be from my team sheet. No, yeah, it was. So the only thing that's not going to work now is it's not mapped correctly. Not mapped the way it was before, right? It's right now I just have an array of these things, so I would need to map it correctly.
What would mapping correctly entail? What do you mean? What was it before?
All right. So right now, my students like this. My students is an array, and then each element has a UID, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If I had, oops, don't do that. Okay, can't copy and paste very well. All right. So if I had two students, it would look like that. Previously, will that work? No, of course not. Closer, but not quite what I wanted. Previously, it looked like I have my array would be by teacher, so I'd have an array, and it would be teacher, grade, and then like that.
Gotcha.
So I had it kind of where I could loop through. I could say, okay, for each teacher, and then for each grade, because some teachers teach multiple grades.
Right.
So let me try and do this. I'm going to say students equals array map, and we're going to have a function. So we take in some array of data. Okay. And we will do some processing on it, and we get processing that. So I will call this roster, right? And I want to return. I'm going to screw this all up, and I'm going to look really silly for doing this. Return. I want to return an array. Return an array. Data sub 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3. There's no way that works, right? That's not going to give me anywhere near what I want.
Don't see that working.
I always get my mappings all sorts of functified. If I were to DB data here, I think there's no problem with me. I can carry this over here. Because this will be fun. How do I get out of this nightmare? Get out of the nightmare. Does presentation mode have to be full screen? I'm not in full screen. Anyway. So my data is, oh, so it's not that. All right, perfect. So it's not data sub that. I want data sub teacher, and then sub grade. Do that now. Hey, did that actually just work? What? No way.
Stop it.
No way.
I feel like this was a complete waste of time of trying to make you look bad.
I'm sorry. One day. All right. This should be static. And then we can add that. And that. But it still works. I'll be damned. All right. So does that make sense on what's happening?
No, I still don't understand how you're getting data and grade out of data.
So what's happening here is my get roster command is returning a structured array of data, and it looks like this.
Okay.
All right. So this is actually the same as saying
all right.
0. So it's 0. It's a 0 indexed array of this data. I don't want 0 indexed. I want to basically rearrange this array from this to having a matrix array.
Right.
So it's going to be an array of teachers grades, and then all of their students separated. So when I go like this and I dump this now,
You have to
so
blow that up here. I can't see any of that. There you go.
all
Okay.
right. So now I have an array of that. This doesn't make sense. I got to figure that out. But here's a teacher grade
1,
and
Oh, and
there's a student. So
okay.
so something's still not right. I still got to figure this out. I want to combine these into one array. So it's still a 0-indexed array. So I did not do what I thought I was doing. Is it array map, or would this be?
I think it's array. I think there's an array flatten or something. Laravel. Let me see. Laravel helper.
Well, now you're talking about Laravel stuff. I'm talking about PHP.
You're running a Laravel application, buddy.
Well, doesn't mean I want to use a Laravel.
Array flatten function will flatten a multi-dimensional array into a single level.
Yep, that's not what I want to do. I want to blow that sucker up in a multi-level.
Yeah, that is not what you want to do.
So I don't. I want to return. Hold on. See, I'm trying to do this, proper way versus just for eaching over and building my array.
Right.
Do I want to array merge? I don't know that I want to array merge.
I don't think you want to array merge.
I'm not merging arrays. I'm taking this array and I want to adjust the keys. I want to create a new array keyed differently. I want to create, so I want to adjust the keys of this. I almost said array reduce, and that kind of scared me. Array reduce my roster. My initial is going to be an empty array. That's not what I want, though. That's not going to work, Buttery. Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy.
Array combine? Array map? What's array combine do? Array combine.
One array for keys and another for values. That's not what I want. You're on the callable. It can't return an array, can it? I guess it can. Mixed. Do I want to carry that along? Is that what I'm missing? Yeah, that's what it is. So I need an array of students, and that's what we're going to carry along. And then we're going to say, it's not trying to do this way yet. Staff function this. What is that? Yeah.
Trying to do the shortcut.
I'm trying to, but I don't think that's smart. Let me go back here. Do this. This. And then let me say students That sub teacher grade going to be equal to that. I'm going to return students.
You're off there somewhere. You're missing a closing bracket.
And there's no way that's going to work. Sort of worked. I need to append to the array now. I need to say, boop. But now it's going to complain because that doesn't exist. Oh, nope. Almost sort of worked. Oh, wait, it did work. I have 20 kids in there now. That did work. Thanks, Butter. You're right. Array reduce.
And maybe you'll get a one item for each item already in the array unless you do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Let me see what you, go back. Let me see what you did again.
All right.
You did use the reduce?
Yeah, array reduce. So we're starting with an empty array and we're reducing, quote unquote reducing, even though we're not reducing anything.
Right.
We're basically constantly appending into this array. So we're mutating this array and then we return it. So on the next call, it gets passed in as the carry. So usually in math, you're carrying something over and adding or subtracting or changing that value. Here we're changing this array. So we start with an empty array. It comes in here along with the first element of data, which in this case looks like this. And then say, okay, take my students. I'm going to have a teacher, a grade, and I want to append to that array this entire structure. And I return it. So in the next item in the roster, students now has one element with the proper structure, and we're going to continue to append to it and append to it until we get a new teacher or a new grade.
Yeah.
But each time we're passing this array in, adding to it, go to the next item in the roster, it gets carried over here, boop, 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 and we're done. So now when we come back here, we get everything we expected. It works. And yeah, like Buttery said, it's just, I could have done this, and if I couldn't figure out which array method to use, just a simple for each over the roster, right?
Yeah.
So that's equivalent to doing this. Students equals this for each roster as data. $students of that. So those two are identical, doing the same thing.
Right.
Test off. We're not messing with tests now. Do you want to teach me fancy Laravel caching versus me using the session like I did here?
No, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's just. I think there's how they still do it. It's just a facade.
Fine. I won't do it.
Yeah.
I will.
There's nothing special about it.
All right. So that was fun there. So my big thing is I wanted to get this piece going because I've got these other controllers now here where I've basically doing the same thing. Like, actually, I refactored the get data out of my multiple endpoints down here. So I was at least trying to refactor it, but I wanted to do it. Go a little more test driven.
No, you did.
All right. Maybe this is where we pick up next time. Is all right. You don't have to be with me then, unless you want to be. I will
I'm
start.
enjoying
I'll start refactoring my reporting pieces. Although, this is the bad part. What I don't like about Laravel, not necessarily Laravel per se, but there's so much logic within here. And actually, there's no logic. I'm passing an array and I'm doing just a bunch of looping within my blade templates. So I don't know what I'm talking about. basically, next time I'm going to do the exact same thing I did. So you can see right here, I do the roster here as well. But then I go and I get another sheet of data. And this basically pulls in thousands and thousands of rows and then does some calculations on it. So I don't want to do it tonight. We've been on already for a couple hours.
All right. Sounds good.
So it'll be very similar. I will create a resolver to grab this data. Actually, we've got the resolver.
I say you already have it. You've already defined it.
Right. I'm just going to end up passing this in, getting
Right.
that data. Man, look how easy this is. It's just, I could have we have the roster resolver, which does this mutating. I will probably do something similar. We'll see. Figure it out next time. I'm done. I got to go to bed.
All right, brother. See you in the morning.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
So thanks, Buttery.
He is everyone. It's all about.